everybody, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and I'm going to show you how to make these tags with a belly band, or how I make them anyways. And I'm going to start with any old tag. This is a tag that I made out of a master board. This was a master board I made on a Mass Make Monday. The link to that playlist will be below. So, I remember that because of this word frippery. I remember thinking that was super funny. But, all I did was add this belly band, and then you can tuck in another tag. You could fold something up, you know, some old ephemera, a letter you don't want to adhere, but you want to add, you know. You could also do this, you know, it doesn't have to be in a tag shape. This is just like a journal card. You could still write on here if you wanted to. But, as you know, it is a belly band. You know, it will hold something on there. So, this one is, again, from that same master board, or the same batch of master boards. I'm not sure it's the exact same one, but this is a page out of Peter Pan and Wendy, I believe. But, anyways, so this is what we're making today. So it's tags with belly bands, and I have this one laid out because I was just so inspired by this imagery that I found in this children's book. On one side I have this cat already glued down, but I found this poem. Actually, it's a Japanese haiku. And this image, and it just went so well on this blue, and I thought it enhanced the look. So we're gonna go with it. And it's such a beautiful little watercolored, or I think it's watercolor image. So all I've done is taken this little strip and I've folded these little flappies over, and I'll show you how I determine how wide that is and everything in a second with a different one. Excuse my little pet flies here. It's summertime and I raise pigs, and I live next door to somebody who raises cows and chickens. And I'm not talking just little, you know, a home flock. I'm talking commercial level chickens. So no matter what we do in our house, we have flies. And from what I understand, that's just kind of the way it's going to be. So, if that's why not everybody can live in the country, because some people could not stand that, I know. But, so here's the haiku. I must go begging for water, morning glories have captured my well. I know I did not read that in proper haiku form. I don't know what the proper haiku form is. I'm really not into that poetry that much, but this is out of an old children's book. Children's, not just children's book, but children's reader, English reader. So, it had a bunch of poetry and stuff in it. So I'll make sure that I got that low enough that I'm not gluing it down. Yep, I got a little bit of glue. So I'm just going to stick my finger in there and rub it around, because this Fabrifix is really cool in that if you do get it where you don't want it, you can just kind of rub it off like that. So what I'm going to do is flip it over and do the same thing with that little piece of paper supported by the desk. And so that way I rubbed both sides and got off that extra glue. So there we go. So I have a whole stack of tags and things here, so we'll just get going with this plain one. I wanted to show how I create my belly bands, and that you can make your belly bands out of, you know, book page. Here, we'll start with this one. I'm gonna grab my scissors, and what I do is I just fold over just a little bit. Really doesn't matter how much. You do want it fairly straight, because you do want it to fold even with your tag. And most tags have straight edges, but you know, if yours don't, then you want to match that angle. Whatever angle your tag has on it, that's what you want to match. And then what I actually do is I just go ahead and glue at this point. And even though it's just the one side, when I'm going to mask make these, and then I will glue it down where I want it. Like so. And then I just come over here, slip my scissors under there, cut it in what feels like an appropriate spot, and then fold back this direction. It's my phone. And I have these almost home. So he likes to warn me because our dogs just get so excited that it's just so much easier if I just put him outside right before he gets here. So that way they can just be outside to greet him. We do have 6 dogs, so it gets a little rowdy. So there we go. And that's how I get the belly band on there. And you can, you know, do this however you want as far as the wording goes. You can cover that up. You can do any number of things there. This little piece might be big enough for one of the smaller tags. I don't really have any small tags out right here. I feel like this technique works better on the larger tags because then you can stick the smaller tags inside of it. Here's another haiku that was on that page. Under the willow, with a leaf stuck in his mouth, the puppy sleeps. So I thought that was super cute. And so on this other side, let's see, I'm gonna use that, or no, here, let's go ahead and use this. This is a really thin old book page. And so let's see, do we want to maintain the dedication? Yeah, why not? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a little bit of glue down like the middle inch or so of this paper. I know I said a little bit, but that's actually quite a bit of glue. That's just kind of how I roll. And then we flip it up to about where we started gluing. Oh, I folded my dedication there. So I'm going to try, open it again, and then refold it just a little bit less than I had the first time. So that way that whole dedication stays readable. And then, let's see. It doesn't really need to be tripled, but I don't want to leave, you know, I don't want to like cut it on this edge and leave that exposed. So what I am going to do is grab my tearing ruler. You could totally cut this. You don't have to tear. You know, just whatever makes you comfortable. And open this back out. So that way we can get glue all the way onto this edge. And we just formed a little tube of paper that is vastly stronger than this paper was before we folded and glued. And so now we just fold our end in, just like we would as if it was just a regular piece of paper, not folded up or anything. And we snip our dealies into it. Our angles there, and the reason for the angles is to help it not catch up on things so much, you know. So fold this one over and cut. And you know, you can do this so many different ways. This is just, you know, one of many ways, just like with any other paper crafting, really. With most art, you can do it in so many different ways, just as many different ways as there are humans, really, because we're each unique and we're each going to create the same piece of art essentially differently because we are different. You know, we are each unique. So there we go. This one got a little bit messy, a little bit gluey. So, trying to be careful and not get the glue everywhere. And there we go. And, you know, you can start, this one's, you know, these are already decorated, but you could start with just a totally plain piece of paper. This was, again, a children's book page. I'm going to go ahead and put the belly band on the back. Let's see. Let's go ahead and like this. We'll use this on this one. This is just a piece of index card that I've coffee stained. And, you know, you don't have to cut the little angles. You can just totally leave it. But see, if you do leave it, see that it kind of pokes out a little bit? That's totally fine, you know. But I like to nip them off so you don't see that back there. And if all of your tags are the same width, you can totally go through and just pre-fold a bunch of these to the same length, you know. But I find that even when I intend to make them all the same width, they kind of have a mind of their own and end up being just a little bit different here and there. And so I like to just fold them for each one as I go. And I seem to get a better fit that way than when I tried to pre-fold them all to, you know, 4 inches or whatever. And you don't have to add the tabbies. I'll do the next one without tabs so you can see the difference. The tabs just give it that little bit more room. So you can put something a little bit bulkier in there without stretching the paper, without putting a lot of pressure on your joints. So, I know my hands are a mess. I've been out working. You'll see why in a video coming up. If you've ever been curious about the Earthship tire building method, stay tuned. So, you'll learn why my hands are so messed up in a upcoming video, and you'll see what I've been working on outside. So on this one, since I'm going to glue it flat without the tabbies, just lined it up and grab my X-Acto knife. It's one of the reasons why I like to work on these mats, because if I'm not on a mat, I'll end up just cutting the surface of whatever I'm working on, because I grab my X-Acto knife for all kinds of things. I much prefer an X-Acto knife over the other kind of craft knife where you break off the ends. Because I'm terrible at breaking off the ends, to where an X-Acto knife, I just, you know, take off the used up blade and put a new blade on the handle that I like, you know. So, but as you can see, you know, all I did was cut it to width and then just put the glue down each side and glued it down, and that totally works. Where's my bookmark? Here's my bookmark. And see, it totally works. And, you know, depending on your application, you may want that, because it will help hold in thinner things. So if you know that what you're going to put in there is a very thin, flat bookmark without the little tassel or whatever, and you want it to be held in there really well, then don't add the flaps. That's great. And just keep going. I'm going to go ahead and just work quietly again, and so you'll see this all in fast speed. And as you can see, you can totally do this on just the index cards. It's just really just adding a belly band to it. Come here, Miss Lady. Not on the desk right now. So on this one, I was wanting to show, before I start working quietly, I was wanting to show this. I cut out of a master board, and I've got things going in like every direction here. Well, I'm not a huge fan of what looks, I mean, it was cute, like I thought it was cute, but then I started paying attention and it looked at it closer, and it kind of looks like a boat that's about to capsize. So what I was thinking is that I would put my belly band on this side, on this one, or even go with a double belly band. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do on this one. You'll see what I mean in just a second. I just mean that I'm going to wrap it all the way around, and there'll be a belly band on both sides. So I'm cutting my little tabbies on this end. We're going to go ahead and glue that down all the way to those corners. And yeah, see that now? You can see that there's a sailboat there, and it's still all askew and whatnot, but you can't see, you know, it looks like the little boy that's struggling. So I'm gonna flip it over, and just right here, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this. Here are my puppies. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. Puppies are all outside to greet my hubby. So what I just did there is, because I have left this a little bit ruffly, which I like, but underneath here it's not going to work real well. So just trim that off. And now I'm gently folding right here along this edge. And now I'm going to hard crease it now that I have it where I want it. And let's see, this we could wrap all the way around, but what I'm actually going to do is create my normal, another little tabby on this edge. So we fold that down, add our little triangles here. Oops, there we go. And decide which, there we go. We need this side up. So here we go. Fold this down, and there we go. Now we have a wraparound one. I am recording over here, baby. So there we go. We've got a double belly band that way. It wraps all the way around, it covers up that weird spot. And now we can tuck something in on both sides. And you could totally add glue over here, add a staple, you know, anything like that that you felt like you needed. I think it'll be just fine without, so I'm going to leave it without. So, I'm going to do the rest of these on fast forward. So, and then we'll wrap up in a minute. Okay, so let's see. Today I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of these done. And so I'm going to start doing Mass Make Monday bundles. So look for those in my Etsy shop. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you subscribers and all of those watched hours. I am astounded at how welcoming the community has been. I cannot tell you how much I greatly appreciate every share that you guys do. So thank you so much.